going on, Oh, dang it. Just ruined my whole intro. What's going on, everybody? Hey, welcome to Undercover Dumpster Fire. As always, Matt Pitcher, undercover retired. We have Eric, and I'm not going to even say the other person now because he decided to do a drum solo to start it out, and I'm not okay with it. So he just got blanked. And of course, as always, we have Willy, firefighter, therapist, actor, model.
Oh, here we go.
Tempted to go into your acting career with what we were just talking about, but you know what? Even though you messed up by doing the air drums, I'm still not going to do that.
He's 5 feet away from me right now.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. That's why you see me looking over at him some. I'll try not to do that too much, but I'll still do it. Whatever. Anyway, hope everybody is doing great. We've got a couple. Actually, we got some great topics to talk about tonight, so I'm kind of excited about this. But I'm gonna turn it over to you guys first. Eric, how was your week been, man? Everything good?
Yeah, man, everything is good. I actually put in an application as a substitute teacher. I figure start working on my education side and build up my, my public speaking, and why not try with a bunch of kindergartens? No,
I am confused. I thought you had to get past fifth.
Sorry, I'm just kidding. Roll Tide.
Yeah. Good luck sleeping tonight.
You know, it's great. I go to school with my kids. It's pretty cool. We're in the same grade.
He beat kindergarten cop.
Ooh,
it's
not a Tuma.
Cop?
It's not. Why is that what everybody like? Same thing I went to right away. Not a Tuma.
You know that kid that asked us, the kid for Pet Cemetery.
Really?
Yeah, if you ever look at that, pretty creepy kid.
Yeah. Willie, how about your week? How's it been?
My week has been good. Every day I met new people, and I enjoyed seeing the wildlife every day. And if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook or any of the things, then you get to also see the things that I see. So you're welcome.
And also, just so everybody knows, because this is, I think, very important, he has to hit me up every day to ask, well, hey, what is this thing I saw? So if you're curious of how he's figuring out what it is he sees, yeah, that's me. I'm going to take credit for that.
He does tell me what kind of sharks they are. You know? Yeah.
Hey, I was also going to say Tuesday was True Blue Tuesday. I met Joel and Deb of a really cool organization about representing the blue on Tuesday. So that's what we're going to start doing. I know we're rocking the red for the military guys on Fridays. So that was another big thing this week I happened to have happen.
For those of you, I'm not very good with red. So I'm just still supporting blue.
I mean, I'll wear red every day. But on Fridays, it's to remember everyone deployed. So people that are deployed today, we're thinking about you. And we're also going to tell a joke. And we're going to start off by Eric telling us about an 80-year-old she-man. Go for it, Eric.
I think wait. I think we got to back that up because I don't think you said that right. You can't say what you said.
I can't say that? She-man? You can't say that? She's 80. She doesn't identify in any way other than she did an Iron Man. But she's
Dispatch, can you redact that, please?
Yeah. Can we just go? Moving right along. Well, let's hear about this 80-year-old female.
All right. Her name is Natalie Grabal. She's actually, do you know she swam 2.4 miles in an hour and 47 minutes. And then she also said, I'm just going to bike another 7 hours, which is 112 miles. And then, let's just add in a marathon. A nice 6-hour run, 26 miles. And you know what's crazy? She's not even the baddest woman around. The baddest woman is this lady named the Iron Nun. She did all this at 82 in the Iron Man of Canada in 2012. So I never knew there was these freaking rock stars out there like that. You know, have you ever done an Iron Man or anything?
No.
Yeah, I have a good friend of mine who's actually been on the show. Lester, the guy who writes the horror books. He does Ironmans, and he's incredible, like a rock star, big time. But I don't think I could even process doing an Ironman.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm already sore just reading the article.
Yeah, it makes me tired. I did the Olympic version of an Xterra, which is like a 1.2 mile swim. I think it was like 13-mile bike or something. I don't even remember, honestly. But it was like mountain bike and swimming in a mountain lake and doing a trail run. But it's Olympics. I sound retarded right now because I don't even remember what it was. But I definitely did not do an Ironman. So a lady in her 80s doing a marathon and swimming 2.4 and doing all and like biking like that is just amazing.
Well,
So
she
shout
learned
out
how to
to
swim at 59 too. So
At 50, holy, wow.
wow.
That's
yeah,
pretty
she
cool.
had a good
Yeah.
21 years to practice swimming for it. So
Yeah, to swim what did we say, 2 miles?
yeah, 2.4 miles.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well, and we got something going on. I want to send a little shout out to Team Red, White, and Blue because I joined that this yesterday, and they have a 16-day challenge that every day I'm doing something. It's for military and family members of military, and it's been cool. This is a cool organization, so shout out to Team Red, White, and Blue. And we also are going to do a Spartan. We talked about it last week and a couple other times. When is it?
March, the end of March, 27th, 28th, or 26th, 27th, right in there.
Let's do it. Let's get a team.
Yeah, we're definitely doing that. And it's at West Palm Beach in Florida. So we will get our registrations in to get that
My
done. But
hometown. All right,
that's right.
West Palm. Let's go.
And that's one we would like, even if you don't want to run it, show up, come support. Basically it's for, just show support for everybody that's been through some trauma, mental stuff, that kind of thing. And then if you are up to running it, let's do it. And we're not gonna, I'm telling you right now, it's not out there to try to see if we can get the best time in the world or anything like that. We really want to show teamwork and togetherness and finish together. So first person's not going to finish before the last person. We're one team and finish all together.
We do it as a unit.
Exactly.
One big unit.
I was holding it together. Why'd you look at? I was holding it together.
I'm sorry.
Dang it, Willy.
Hey, I'm a firefighter still. Even though I'm not riding backwards, I'm still a little backwards. So here we go. It's Willy Bearden. That's what happens. Yeah.
No firefighters ever said big unit before either. Okay, anyway, where were we?
See what happens? It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Say your prayers.
And moving right along.
All right. Hey, this week I heard an article. I saw a lot of people probably saw it. It was a place in Tennessee. It was a manufacturing plant that exploded and it wiped out every person there. It killed 16 people and an entire community was affected by that. And having been a fireman in a city that had disasters happen, something like that impacts everybody. And I just want to talk real briefly about the triangle of tragedy. I did not make this up. There was a Aspen a sheriff that came up with this. I'm giving him some credit. I don't remember his name, but if he's out there, hey man, I'm going to mention your triangle. So the triangle of tragedy is this. First, if you know somebody and you show up on the scene, that's the first triangle of tragedy. That's the first point. So you know this person, or you know someone that worked there, or you know that was one of your neighbors. Then, if you have hands on the person or the bodies or the evidence, that's another part of that triangle. And then the worst one is if you see the family's reactions. And that's a trifecta of, you know this person, you had hands on, you see the family reactions. And that is the biggest dose of grief that you can get, in my opinion, as a firefighter, is if you know the person, you had hands on, and then you see those reactions from family members. So what do you guys think about that, cops here? You'd probably be out there directing traffic, but when you weren't though, what would you say, or how would you handle that? Just seeing all those pieces and getting a giant dose of grief. What do you think about that? Because there's some people grieving right now.
So, and that's, especially when you talk about any kind of mass casualty situation or that type of thing. Like I can think about a few active shooter scenarios, and like it's so difficult. So part of it, you're there for scene security, right? Identify the bad guy, take care of the bad guy, take care of victims, keep the scene secure, keep everybody safe. You have family members, news gets out quick. Today's day and age, like I guarantee you at that Tennessee thing, you had family members flooding to that place, right? Because you care about your loved ones. You want to go check. And for law enforcement, that's our hardest part, right? That's because you guys are handling the mess. When it's a natural thing like that, obviously you guys got to take over. We don't know what we're doing with that. So we're on scene security. We're making sure people aren't bum rushing you. And it's hard when you have to be aggressive with someone that you know is hurting really bad and just wants to see their loved one, but you have to maintain control, and that's really really difficult,
Yeah.
and not fun at all. And I've
Hmm.
been on too many of those scenes, and I'd like to remember, to be quite honest. But I mean, I've had to arrest family members before, um, and you hate it, and you end up, when I say arrest, you end up putting them in cuffs, detaining them for a while, putting them in the back of a car. And I've never had where we actually had to fill them out. I mean, I've gotten pushed by family members to where I could have, arrested them,
Hmm.
but you got to understand where they're coming from and their grief and everything else. And while we got to control the
Hmm.
scene, we've also got to show a lot of compassion. Just want to say,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
that's
do
a
you think,
lot of
Eric?
people, right? That's a lot of
Yes.
people. I mean, you multiply that times 4, 5, 6. I mean, there could be hundreds of people there, man, and that's a large
Yeah.
crowd, right? I was thinking
Yeah.
about the smells of everything that was going on, all that stuff. That's just not that you smell, but you just, man,
Yeah,
it's
there's a
just in the
smell.
air, and
Yeah.
everyone's gonna have that little connection, unfortunately, in that situation. I just can't. I just hope it was
Mhm.
fast, man, because it seems like it was a tremendous explosion. I saw a satellite view of the building before and after, and it's like
Hmm.
a missile hit it or something.
It's gone. Yeah. It's gone. Yeah. What'd you say, Matt?
I don't know if I want to go into this or not, but Willie, you could answer his question. Situation like that, I mean, it's kind of almost an instantaneous thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, my guess is I obviously wasn't there, so I don't know specifics about what like. There's always an investigation on something like that to figure out what they can find out. And fire's interesting; it's science. You can usually figure out where it started based on where things. There's markings, and fire inspectors are pretty good at that to figure out how these things started initially. It's going to be some time though, and the things that I would say to the firefighters in those scenarios is one, do a media blackout. Your brain wants to connect all these dots, and everyone wants to know. You're getting calls from people. What did you see? What did you hear? What do you know? And that can be overwhelming. So stay off social media. Don't watch anything else except for this show. Okay. Uh, no, but there's just media blackout after there's some major event like that. Just stop being on Facebook and Instagram and trying to find information because what you have to do is actually teach your body to come back to the routine, come back to what you always do. You wake up in the morning, you have coffee, you go for a run or go for a walk, you work out, you talk to walk the dog, like you do your routine. You get back to that as soon as possible because that's psychologically what you need. Your brain needs to go, okay, we went through this thing and now we're back. And the longer you stay out of that routine, the worse things get. And if you're constantly reminded of events like that when you're not at work, then you can get saturated. And I want you to think about being a sponge. And every time you watch a video about it, or someone asks you about it, or you think about it, you get a dose of grief. And eventually you get saturated. And then you can be overwhelmed by it. And you can actually have a grief injury, if that makes sense, where you get so much grief that it overwhelms you. And unfortunately, I have those, and you see them in here. I start crying about stuff because sometimes you just take on more than what you can actually handle, and then it comes out sideways. And usually, guys will, and I say guys, but usually responders will turn to alcohol to chill out. That's always the go-to, and it really shouldn't be. Your body needs to come back online, and just by doing that, you do depress your nervous system, but it also creates its own anxiety. So you drink enough, and you'll get anxiety when you don't drink. So I always try to get people to not drink more than they usually do, which then they're like, I drink 2 pitchers, and I'm like, you know. But what do you
Not
guys
not
think about
talking
that?
about me, talking about pictures of
Yeah, he's
yourself.
talking about Eric. Yep, just kidding. Eric, what do you think?
No, I
'Cause
meant the
we
pictures. My last name. You know
oh,
what? Never
Matt
mind.
Pitcher. Oh,
If you're not going to
he's
get my jokes, I'm not going to say them. I'm out.
dad joke. Knock knock. Who's there? Matt Pitcher. What do you think, Eric? What do you chime in here for a second? What do you think
Please,
about
please chime in.
I was definitely a booze hound during those stressful times of hurricanes and some of the I think the most tragic thing I ever really had, I didn't have anything like, we had a mall shooting once. I wasn't working that day. And the other thing was car accidents. You know, seeing the car accidents and the family showing up and you got 3 bodies. And it's, you know, saddest thing you've ever seen. You know, and then sometimes I've had to go to the hospital with the bodies and you're sitting in there with the bodies, you know, and it's a surreal moment. It's real creepy in a way, you know. And I've seen a lot of zombie movies, so I'm always like, that toe move.
Coming back.
But yeah, but no, it's a pretty sad situation. And, you know, I still think about those. You know, I still remember the family's reaction of a dad that had a heart attack after they all went out for a family walk, like one Saturday or something, you know, and you always remember, like, dude, that dude's like 42 and he died. What, you know?
Yeah.
And these people are just going to work, man. You know, just But
you see it all. You see people going doing random stuff and just everyday things, and that's it. So, anytime there's a disaster, I would just say, you know, it's an opportunity to redefine what you value. And if you're the type that will leave the house and not tell your spouse or your loved ones or your kids that you love them, you might want to start doing that. And not to wig them out or anything, but just if that's the last time they see you, it'd be nice if that was something good. And it does soften your heart a little bit when you witness stuff like that. So then making room, saying no. I always say if you say no to something, identify what you're saying yes to. So if you say no after a big event like that, you say no to a bunch of volunteering, or you say no to helping your buddy move. Sorry, but right now is not a good time. And you know, the idea is if you say no to something, you're saying yes to something else. And after a big event, you really do need to say yes to self-care. It's not selfish. It'll feel like it is because everyone here is a bleeding heart and you'll do anything to help anybody, but also you have to help yourself. And you have to say no to some stuff so you can say yes to me and what I need. And sometimes that's just space. Sometimes I found that actually going out on a trail, and I would run as far as I could go until I was exhausted alone. And then I would cry and do whatever, talk to God, whatever I had to do. And then when I got exhausted, then I would turn around. And by the time I got back, I was okay. I was good to go after a major event. That's a little bit, it's personal. I think everyone should have a little routine that you develop for after a major event. So if you don't have one, you got to figure that out. Because it can't just be figure it out when it happens. Because you guys know when bad things happen, you can't really think straight. You got to already have it planned out. What do you do? So take 10 minutes to figure out what's your plan after a major event. And hopefully you don't have any, but if you do, you want to plan, right?
100%. Yeah, you definitely want to have a plan. Like, because if you don't, chances are you're going to turn to something negative, alcohol, whatever, because you're going to do something to numb it because it's there and it hurts.
Yeah. And I mean, this shirt, I put this together a long time ago, Hose Layers, Dragon Slayers, 2009. What's up? But I got a helmet for every event that I competed in. There was like a 25K and 2.5 marathons with a bunch of firefighters back in Michigan. And sometimes it's stuff like that where you just get a bunch of guys or people together, a group. Maybe go fishing, maybe just hang out for a little while afterward, hopefully not at the pub. But connecting to people, connecting to present day, and staying very present, that's going to help when you're in chaos. So
hey, I will say you forgot the word garden in front of hose. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was a printer.
Nah,
probably was a printer.
We had the extra large hoses. The large diameter hoses, they're 5 inches around. Those are the ones you see, they lay all the way down the street, you know?
Yeah, that's where I parked my car.
Yeah, big giant hose. Yep.
big giant
We know our hoses.
Oh, man.
Oh, here we go. We better switch. So Matt, tell us about your case that came up in the news.
Yeah, so there was a newspaper article in the local paper down in the Florida Keys, and it was reference to a case that I worked. And it's a guy that, I mean, by definition, he's a serial killer because we know he killed more than one person. We truly suspect and are confident he has killed probably numerous people and is never going to come and be forthright about it. but it was like 2 days before Thanksgiving down here, and he brutally, and I mean brutally, raped and killed a female. And we ended up in a lot of ways getting lucky, or divine intervention caught him that same night. I interviewed him for over 12 hours. At his request, he became very fond of me, and built. Yeah, yeah. That's only time. Like I'll go into it, but basically, he developed a huge bond to me. Ended up telling us where all the evidence was. The only thing he would not do is physically say that he's the one who did this. He would not go that. Told me about another person he killed, but would not talk about this one in terms of having actually been the one to kill the person. Uh, Told me all kinds of stuff about his life, and he was definitely had some issues, to say the least. But he, like I said, he developed a huge bond, and there are techniques that I'll brag for a second that I'm very good at. Like probably the best skill I have, undercover and interviewing people. I am extremely talented for whatever reason at that. So they worked very well on this. I go to when he went to trial. Um, I was obviously brought up on the stand. They played my interview parts from it, and I had to explain to the jury, well, why do you do this? Like your normal type thing, like, oh, well, you do this because you're trying to build that rapport with him because you want him to be honest with you and tell you the truth and all this. And keep in mind, I'm up on the stand talking all this. He's obviously with his lawyer over in the defense. I finished testifying. I was on the stand for maybe 2 hours. Nothing too traumatic. And having played a lot of the video, talked about different stuff of the victim, the brutality of it, that kind of thing. I get up to walk off with the jury still in the room. The suspect, I guess I can say his name now because I'll also be up. It's Stephen Wolf is the subject's name. He goes, Matt, I am so sorry I put you through all this. Like one of the creepiest moments. Like he felt bad that I had to get up there on the stand and testify against him. It was just weird. And Willie's playing with my dog, just so everybody knows what he's doing.
The cutest
that
dog
looks
right
weird.
here, Piper.
It is the cutest dog.
She doesn't want to be on camera.
Usually she's the exact opposite, but so anyway, the reason we're getting into all this, he obviously they always file appeals. So he got convicted, and for the first time or second time in Florida history, everybody on the jury asked for the death penalty. That's almost usually there's a few holdouts. Nobody held out. Everybody wanted to see the death penalty. And this article talks about what the judge said at that time that I think this is very close to an exact quote, but you have forfeited, not only have you forfeited your right to live among us, you have forfeited your right to live at all. May God have mercy on your soul. That was what he said after that, and then sentenced him to death.
Wow.
Think about that. Like, and I'll be honest, I am neither for nor against, in a way, the death penalty. I have a very hard time with it. I believe very strongly in human life, and I don't believe that I am God. So I have the hard time there sentencing someone to death. Like I've been asked a lot of times, am I going to go to this guy when he's given the injection? Because you can actually show up as a detective and watch him be put down.
Yeah.
And I will not go to that. I have in my life 3 times I've had to justify deadly force. I have not killed anybody, and I've never shot anybody, but I have been in a situation where I had to beat someone to the point where it could have very easily killed them. And it's stuff that I honestly I deal with it today. That's a whole other issue, but I wonder. Like, it's so funny thinking of this whole case on the opposite end of things. Had I been on the jury, right? If it wasn't my case and I was on the jury, I don't know if I could say I want him to die, that I want him to receive the death penalty. And I wonder for a judge what that's like not knowing that definitely everything about it says you're doing the right thing, but how heavy that is, you know, when we're on the street and something goes and we have to use deadly force, you don't have time to think about it till afterwards. I wonder what it's like when you have all that time ahead of time, where you have to contemplate, review all the evidence, do all this, and with all that, put someone down. And that's a different animal altogether. And I'm not saying one's better than the other or harder, but I feel like that'd be it's interesting to me, I guess, in a sense that I don't know how I would handle that aspect of it. I'd rather deal with it and then have to think about it later than have all the time up front to think about it. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, you just talked about a serial killer getting convicted and sentenced to death. And I don't know, as a fireman, we're taught life over everything. But me personally, I would err on the other side of that and have a hard time wanting to see this person alive. And I'm not in charge of that. And I can understand that different, like that push and pull. You know, and so this is a sensitive thing. But you know, people have to make these decisions every day, and you know, I think that, in my opinion, it'd be no different than soldiers having to go to war and having to shoot and kill to survive and defend our freedoms. And we've got people that, you know, unfortunately, are doing crazy things, and you know, so I have a little less empathy than you, Matt, in that regard. But I'm not in charge. I'm just the guy sitting on the porch talking about it, you know.
Talking about Matt's serial crush, you know. So.
Right? Yeah, and he bonded with him. You know?
They all said so. It's funny because it became a running joke in the agency that, and yes, this guy probably has some homosexual tendencies and developed a bit of a crush on me. And they all wanted me. His last name is Wolf, and they all wanted me to get a wolf tattoo. Obviously, there was no way in hell that was ever going to happen.
Oh, he's a sheepdog.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. He goes after the wolves. That's what's up. Isn't that right?
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
I just gave him a high five.
That's a crazy situation.
Like, like it's just like, again, for me, I always feel like it's easier on the front end, right? Do what you got to do and then think about it on the back end, which probably mental health wise is not always the greatest. But I can't. Like, it just got me thinking about it. Like, how hard is it as a judge that you have all this time to sit there and think about it? I don't know if that, man, it may make it easier because you can look at all this guy did and you're not personally attached to it. I don't know. It makes me wonder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you reach down in your heart, you ask yourself and you ask God, you know, hey, what do I need to do here? And, you know, trust that he'll give you the right decision, and, you know, and then live in the present. There's always going to be suffering in the past. So if we go into the past, there's suffering, there's pain, there's all that stuff. We don't have to always go back in and massage it, bring it back up. If it's coming up right now, here and today, and you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're having a hard time, it's getting in the way of relationships, all right, now we got to deal with it. But we don't have to go under stuff. If it's just there, you know, let that be sorted out in the end. And but live today, and that's the best thing I can say for when people are stuck in chaos, is be present. Be very present. Go look at animals, look at flowers, watch butterflies.
If you don't know what the animal is, apparently you call me and I'll tell you what the animal is.
He'll know.
Don't worry about
it. And Waylon, Stefan, he has an app, and when there's a bird, he can listen to it and be like, this is a yellowfinch, you know. And so, like, you can get interested in all kinds of things if you're living in the present moment. But if we're anxious, we're not in the present either. We're thinking about what's going to happen and what might happen. And half the time, most of the time, it never happens. So live in the present, be grounded, you know, enjoy your day, look around, see where you are. Sometimes I forget. Like, hey, I dreamed of living in a place like where I'm at today. So look around, enjoy it. So
he doesn't mean my back porch when he says that. He means the rest.
I mean, he might have a manatee or something come by. You know,
I have had manatees come down the canal.
See,
I'll definitely be a man. No,
man. Yeah.
Hey, look, we have a manatee right.
It's time, you know.
all right.
Oh yeah, we are at our time.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, number one, Cops and Campers. When's the next date, Eric?
We're looking at April. I was thinking
It's a cool organization, Chris.
Oh, wait, you're talking about a good organization. Now I feel bad.
Yeah. So you're gonna see me carry a flag this week. It's just I'm gonna represent that. I'm gonna carry the flag, and you're gonna see me tag that, and you should do the same thing. Okay.
all right.
Adios.
Let's off flex. Woo!
And for all the cops out there, as he's carrying the firefighter flag, don't worry, I'll run him off the road a few times, video it. We'll be good. Don't worry about it. Hey, everybody, have a great week. Please be safe. Please take care of yourself, and we'll see y'all next week.
All right.